Welcome back to some more battles. We are in the open Great Lake, and let's see if we can get some wins. So we're going to be using the team featuring the Claydol paired with the Dunsparce and the Malamar in the back. Interesting lead here. We're just going to stay in because both of us are doing some good neutral damage. We did get the debuff. They did farm up to the Icy Wind, so we decided to shield, and then we're going to be able to get to another Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb does go through. We're looking for the farm. Unfortunately, unable to get the farm down, but this is a good opportunity for us to get a little bit of energy advantage with the Dunsparce. Dunsparce versus their own Claydol. It's going to be quite interesting. We basically have Dunsparce to take out this Claydol as low as possible. We wait for them to use some energy. Then we go into our Malamar, fire off the foul play, and it does grab the shield. They decide to stay in. We're going to have to shield here, and it looks like they have the Clogsire in the back. So debuff Malamar versus this Clogsire. Who's going to be able to win this game? We get 2 foul plays, and before we get to our next one, they get to get their Stone Edge off. We're looking to fire off this draw run before they get to their next move. We're very close to the next draw run here versus this Claydol, and we do reach it for the KO. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game, kind of managing the energy towards the end right there and making sure our Dunsparce was close to a move before going back into the Claydol. Here we're gonna use our Malamar, and it looks like they tank the move and dip out of there. Here comes the Morpeko. Morpeko did get to the Oral Wheel, and at this point, we're going to have to look for a farm down because, they actually are running Seed Bomb. I'm not sure if that would have KO'd, but it would have done boosted damage. Still super effective, I guess. So now we have to beat this Superior with the Dunsparce. Dunsparce was able to tank the first move. It's not going to be able to tank the second move. Here comes the move here. It has to be Frenzy Plant or it doesn't KO. And then we're going to go straight into the Claydol here, take out this Superior, and now we have Jellicent to deal with. Unfortunately, Jellicent is dealing super effective fast move, charge moves, so doesn't look promising for us here. We shield the Serve. Do we survive this next move? Barely, and unfortunately for our opponent, we are one of the only people running Shadow Ball Claydol, and that's going to be the reason why we win that game. So GG's to our opponents. Lucky for us, unlucky for our opponent. Interesting lead here. Claydol versus this Gastro is going to be pretty neutral. So the reason we won last game with the Shadow Ball is the reason why we'll probably lose this matchup, because Shadow Ball is only neutral and Gastro was able to survive it. They go into their Guzzler. We have the Dunsparce to kind of match. They're going to fire off a move here. We hope that we can survive it, and we do survive it with a sliver of health. So we're going to see if we can farm down. That's perfect situation for us because Malamar with some energy is going to be pretty nasty. You can see right there, takes out the Gastro. Our opponent here is going to be able to use their their Mandibuzz here. We're going to elect to go for the superpower and try to catch a move. No catch, but our opponent does try to get the farm down. And now we have a Rock Tomb go through that permanently debuffs them. We have to wait the timer here. We're going to go into the Malamar. We're going to have to shield here. And we're trying to use up as much time as possible so that we can potentially get to multiple moves. We go for another foul play here. It grabs the shield and looks like they're going to be able to fire out this move. We basically needed to catch that move in order for us to have a chance, but Mandibuzz in the back was just horrible for our Claydol and Malamar core. Okay, another unfavorable lead here. We're going to go into the Dunsparce. They actually don't have a great answer to this. The Duskthorn didn't want to see the Dunsparce. They switched into their Toxapex, which isn't really an answer to the Dunsparce. You can see we can fire back with the Durans. They go for the Brine. We can survive that easily. We're going to fire off this Duran. Maybe we get a shield if they have a lot of energy to use. Yeah, you can see right here, Dunsparce was a huge core breaker for their team. Mandibuzz and Dusknoir are left. Here, we're going to shield so that we can force them to use a shield or take a lot of damage. At this point, we're just going to sack the Claydol because you can see the Claydol is not really useful for this Mandibuzz or the Dusknoir. So we actually end up getting his shield, which is really, really nice. At this point, we have to go into this Dunsparce so that we can force him to switch out. But we also know that we still have Malamar, which we really want on their Dusknoir. So they go for the Shadow Punch bait. We're going to go for the shield here and try our best to farm it down. We do get the farm down. And that's really nice for us because now we have two superpowers. First superpower gets him low. And then we get to another superpower for the win. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game. Mainly because the Dunsparce triple core broke their team. And we were able to manage the Malamar energy. Okay. This is going to be neutral. They decide to switch out into the Dusclops, and we have the Dunsparce for the Ghost. We are going to tank the move. They are revealing Fire Punch. Fire Punch is, minor damage, but they are going to be adding up. The Dusclops has already gotten us into the yellow, and now we see the Como-O. This Como-O is going to be interesting to deal with because we don't really have a great answer to this. So we did chip away at it, and then we go into the Malamar. This Malamar is going to shield once so that we can farm down because we do want it pretty healthy. And we see a Azu in the back. So Azu is going to be able to resist all of our charge moves. The side waves from the fast moves are doing most of the damage. So we're going to try to save the Malamar for our potential catch later on. We fire off the Claydol. We know that they're running Fire Punch, and now we know there's Shadow Punch. Do we ever get the farm down? No, we don't. So we have to try to farm down with this Dunsparce. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. And this Azu still have 2 shields, so unable to win that game. Check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.